So the M13B assault rifle is an incredibly difficult weapon to unlock, and currently it can only be earned by playing DMZ. So here is the new fastest way to unlock the M13B assault rifle in Warzone Season 2. Leave a like if you find this guide helpful, and check out my other Season 2 guides like leveling up weapons fast for when you unlock the M13B. But let's get straight into it. So the challenge for DMZ says for this weapon you can unlock it by defeating the Chemist in the radiation zone of DMZ and extracting his dropped weapon. Now this challenge can be very difficult to complete. I see a lot of people struggling with it, but with these tips you'll be able to earn the weapon much more easily. I want to help you guys make it as easy as possible to complete, so here are all my tips to help you get it done as easily as possible for anyone that still needs to unlock it. So let's quickly go through the class setup. For the weapon, you're going to want to put on any weapon you want in the insured slot, ideally a sniper, but it can be an assault rifle or any other weapon you want, but probably a sniper's best. And also the suppressor attachment is ideal to put on it to avoid alerting enemies. For your equipment, you want to put on a stim for the tactical so you can heal yourself when you're damaged. Alternatively, you could also put on a spotter scope so you can track enemies and mark them out before you actually engage in a gunfight in the radiation zone, but I think stim's probably better. And for the lethal, you can put on Semtex or another piece of lethal equipment. Then for the field upgrade, I'd recommend putting on a munitions box just to resupply ammo, but if you've got another one, feel free to go for that. Now for actually setting up, what do you do? So when you're in game, there's a few things you need to get which will help make your fight easier. The first one being money. So you want to earn money, try and get quite a few AI kills and search buildings to loot money and other useful items. With this money you can buy things which I'll talk about in a minute, but you also want to try and find a 2 or 3 plate armor suit just so you can have more armor equipped, and perhaps a medium or large backpack if you come across it, just so you can carry more useful items like for healing and health, that kind of thing. You also want to loot or buy a few armor plates from the store. Have these stocked up as you'll take quite a bit of damage, I'm sure, for all the enemies you come across, and ensure you have enough ammo and 2 good weapons. If you have space in the inventory, I'd also stow some extra stims if you come across them, and these can be found on like dead enemy AI, in medicine cupboards in the bathroom, first aid kits in bathrooms or public buildings, that kind of thing. Ideally, you also want to have a self-revive kit or a revive pistol, especially if you're doing this solo. And you can get these from loot chests, first aid boxes, that kind of thing. If you're likely to go down, this is very important. I'd also recommend having radiation blocker, so you can find this, they're like little tubs of it, and you find these in loot chests, medicine cabinets in bathrooms or public buildings like gas stations, that kind of thing. You'll find them dotted around. Keep searching lots of buildings before you go to the radiation zone and you should get them. This is important because once you take this, it will count down the percentage left on the radiation block. It will go like 100%, 99%, so on. And this is an alternative to having the gas mask, although it's useful to have both just in case you run out, because when you're in the radiation zone you will very quickly take damage if you haven't got any protection from the gas, and you need lots of it, and it can be kind of time consuming sometimes to find enemies and so on, so it's important to have this when you can. Now the other thing you need, like I say, is a gas mask. Ideally you can find one from a dead enemy player or in a loot chest. You could also go into a quick setup game beforehand, then find or buy a gas mask and then exfil, so you have it at the start of this current game, so you like go into a previous game, get one and have it ready because you have it on your person for the current game. That's another option. You could also buy at least one gas mask from the store for $2,000 each. It's up to you if you can't get hold of any around the map. And then alternatively you can find one on enemies within the radiation zone. Pretty much every enemy will drop one, so you can just pick them up from there, but you won't always have enemies right near the edge where you can get it, so sometimes you have to go further in, which can be more deadly, so it's important to ideally have at least one or some radiation blocker. You also want to find a suitable vehicle to travel over to the radiation zone, which is the yellow circle on the map with the pink radioactive symbol, and ideally you want to play with teammates that will help you and you can communicate with, but playing solo is still possible, is obviously just more difficult. Once you have everything, head over to the radiation zone and find a good vantage point. Then you want to start taking enemies out one by one near the edge of the radioactive zone. Ideally you want to use a weapon with a silencer so that other enemies are less likely to know you're there and alert other enemies, so it can be a bit more stealthy and you're less likely to attract as much attention. So this is why it's important to have an insured weapon slot with a silencer built onto it. It's not essential, but it's quite useful. So stepping into this zone will cause you to quickly take radiation damage and die, hence if you still need a gas mask, try to lure an enemy to the edge of the zone and kill them, then quickly dip into the radioactive field to pick up a gas mask. Most enemies, like I say, will drop one if they're inside the zone. Pretty much all of them do. You just want to keep picking them up. They're like gold dust. And then once you have a gas mask or radiation blocker and have picked off enemies visible that are kind of near you or near the edge of the radiation zone, head into the radioactive zone. If the Chemist has not been killed yet by other enemy players, a banner will pop up saying that the Chemist is close by, and therefore you know you have to find and kill him. Now you'll come across lots of other enemy AI too, so try to take them out slowly. Keep picking up gas masks, like I say, so you don't run out and die. Push slowly, take cover frequently, reload when sensible, and try to find the Chemist. Obviously you're kind of against a time pressure, but you also need to be very careful. If you rush in, you can easily die and get overwhelmed by enemies, and it's so frustrating when you're this far in, so do try and take it slowly. The Chemist is an enemy in a bright yellow hazmat suit. He's very easy to see once you're actually near him. He should be really obvious. obvious. Now often once the Chemist is alerted to your presence, they'll actually try to come towards you, but sometimes he'll be hiding around for a while, so you have to try and find him. But it will be fairly obvious because he looks completely different from the other enemies that he'll be near. And the Chemist also has extra health, so make sure to have lethal equipment and plenty of ammo, or shoot the Chemist from far away with a sniper. 2 bullets to the head should be enough to kill him, but just make sure you've got enough firepower to actually take the guy down. If you cannot see the Chemist and you are not told he's nearby, keep searching around the whole zone, and if you still can't find him, it's likely he's actually already been killed by another player, and therefore you won't be able to pick up his weapon. So at that point you'd have to try again in another match. Now once you kill him, you'll be told by the voice announcer he's down, so then go up to him, look for his weapon. This should be a bright yellow M13B variant. It should be fairly obvious. You'll have seen what it looks like already. And then once you pick up this weapon, get back into your vehicle. Obviously you can't bring the vehicle into the radiation zone because it stops working, but leave it just outside the radiation zone. Then get back into your vehicle, head straight for the exfil point, as you need to get out there as soon as possible without dying, otherwise you'll lose the weapon and have to start all over again. So you want to drive back to the exfil point, run into the green smoke cloud and hold square or X to call in the helicopter to leave the map, and then you can run behind cover like a rock or a crate or something, or get into your vehicle and hide and wait until the helicopter lands. You don't want to be taken out by AI or other enemy players that are camping around the exfil points. This can be very annoying, especially if you've just gone and got the variant. Then what you want to do is run straight into the helicopter once it's arrived to exfil, and you now, once you've exfilled with the weapon, you now have the M13B weapon unlocked full time. Well done. Now only the person picking up the M13B can actually unlock it, so if you have any teammates there is a way to give the weapon to them quickly once you have it. So unfortunately one person can get it at a time, and then once that person has it they can give it to their friend, and what they need to do, you basically need to load into another DMZ game with the M13B weapon, then drop that weapon for your teammate and immediately head with them to the exfil point. There's no need for them to go to the radiation zone 2. As long as they exfil with that weapon you've just given them, they will have it too. So as long as someone picks it up in some capacity in DMZ, as long as they exfil, they'll be able to unlock that weapon. Really, really easy. It's just annoying you have to go through all that hassle the first time around. Now that's how to unlock it, but once you do, you'll want to level it up and make a good class, so feel free to check out my easy Season 2 Weapon XP guide via the card on screen and link in the description for tons of easy weapon XP to level up your guns incredibly fast, such as the M13B, and feel free to check out my class setup for this weapon too, along with any other Season 2 guides like how to level the Battle Pass fast, the best settings in Warzone, all of that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like so that other people can find the video too, and feel free to subscribe by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone videos. Thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.